psychically. And the first thing I heard, which is like, please be careful, I don't know why I'm picking fertility, but it came through very loudly. Now, fertility can be creative energy. It might be projects. It can be subjects to do with your children, but I feel you're super fertile at the moment. And this can be really good for many ways of doing things, okay? It can be one for gaining momentum and energy. I'm also feeling you could be really, really meditating at the moment. Really meditating upon what you want, well-being. There could be some anxiousness coming up, but I really feel, hi Brooke, I really feel this is a time of co-creativity for you, especially with your crowning energy. Some of you may be really getting a lot more energy and wanting to move forward, but there's something to do with a plan that you're wanting to achieve. I do feel some of you could be finding some information out. This could be coming towards you. It may be in relation to family, a creative project, but I do feel this brand new movement emotion. Now, I would say, spiritually speaking, for you personally at the moment moving forward, home is important to you, but there could be a home movement. Some of you could be feeling that there is too much going on at home, but you're going to have the energy to be able to achieve it. But I also feel you could be a little bit more sharp with certain individuals. Now, that's only temporary, but I do feel also something to do with an anniversary coming up. I do feel an anniversary of something, which can be triggering you emotionally. But I really do feel that there's all these ideas going through your head about what you could do, what you need to do, but you are going to be quite active. Now, your daily routine for home, in the first 2 weeks, I do feel will be super active. It's going to be super active. You may be tense. You might feel frustrated. I'm being really guided to show you to look after your health. Look after your health, look after your well-being. And I do feel if you're wanting to have those small luxuries, by looking at shifting some things around, I feel you're going to be able to do such. I do feel some of you may be having very intellectual conversations. I feel this is more towards mid-month. If you are going to socialise, be mindful to not be too headstrong. It can be a time when we're looking at things very practically. It could be somebody giving you information. You may go into psychoanalytical energy of it, but I feel it's more you're wanting to connect with individuals that are more like-minded. Almost like feeding the brain, feeding the soul. I do feel some of you, if you are actually going to have meetings with friends, socialization, I do feel it's more going to be at that happy intellectual level, but just be really mindful to not bite off more than you can chew, because I do feel in the first 2 weeks it can be super busy. I also feel there could be something changing surrounding home in your environment. Now, I also feel that for some of you, be it you're in a partnership or, you're active, I shall say, it is a time of fertility. Pay super close attention. If you were wanting to, it is active there for you. Definitely from some of the cards that come through. And psychically, the first thing that was screaming at me was co-creativity. Now, your crowning energy is sacral chakra. Okay? This could be quite active. But it also could be quite passionate. What do I mean by that? If you're trying to get the energy to do things, you're going to have the energy. If you need to create healthy boundaries, you're going to be in that mindset. If you're trying to get things off the ground, really between now and mid-month is the time to get those things done. It's slow and steady wins the race, but I do feel trying to pull things together. I do feel doors are going to open very, very fast, but you're really coming into this give and take. So if you feel people aren't pulling their weight, be it it's at work and family circumstances and friendship groups, I feel you're going to be pretty direct. I feel you're going to be like, what am I doing this for? The ruin itself is saying nothing is for nothing, but it's like the wisdom that you've gained. Be proactive with such, use it within your life so that you don't tell yourself those false fulfilling prophecies. It's like, I've gone and done all of this. It's never going to get anywhere. It's no, the universe is trying to show us better ways, but it's also being very practical about with how you see things. Be proactive with your logic. I'll read the ruin. Okay, it's very Mars energy. It's fire. Ash, Elm, Odin. Okay, so those of us who have these gifts within our life, sometimes it can feel like, oh gosh, I've only learned this after the fact, and then we can get cross and we can say, why did I do such? Now, this ruin really relates to nothing is for nothing. Healthy give and take, healthy boundaries. This is the level up month. It's where we're going to have this momentum moving forward. We'll have revelations about how we can redirect our life. Maybe feel as though we've had some tower moments after the eclipses and the Capricorn moon. Moving into the new moon in Cancer, which is occurring on the 10th. For you guys, it does link to movement, okay? It's movement, your daily routine, your communication. It could be information coming in. It could even be for some of you relating to family and home, and also news of a child, right? Okay, it's a wonderful positive room, promising positive exchanges, connections, and interactions. Positive, contracts coming together, love coming together, movement, nothing is for nothing. Revelations. On an esoteric divinational level, this rune suggests that the quadrant has been or will be offered a gift from the gods. This may come in the form of wisdom or insight or an opportunity. Okay? Nothing comes from nothing. The old Norse philosopher had nothing comes from nothing, emphasizing that the quadrant's onus to use the gift correctly. That scared the crap out of me. As my masculine calls. Excuse me. Nothing comes for nothing, emphasizing the quadrant's onus to use the gift correctly and acknowledge both the giver and the given. Takes two to tango, okay? So if something happens, it takes two to tango. This can be good or bad, however you want to pick it. Whatever's coming, it's coming, right? So if we are in an awoken state, our intentions of moving forward need to be that of, you know, accountership, is that even a word? Accountability within our knowledge and wisdom. If we're getting a download and we can see something's not working, moving it around. Also by us looking at how we can transform things. The balance, which is very Libra, which is funny because your 6th house is Libra. Balance and clarity, healthy give and take. You know, and then we are doing what we can within our compass to make sure that we're balancing things in our life. The projection is the reflection. You know, and I've had to do some shadow work over the last 3 weeks. Where can we do things differently so that we have that balance? And when we're tired, it can come up. Okay, reversed, which you won't know because it's just an X. Right? Warns against taking gifts or relationships for granted. And that can be our feeling that people are. At worst, for shadows, theft or betrayal. But may also caution against giving off oneself too freely. And spreading oneself too thinly, which can result in depleted energy and purgatory experiences, which we all have experienced over the last few weeks. So, the crowning energy you have is healthy give and take. Okay, 6th house is very healthy give and take. Funny enough, your crowning energy is, well, I've got to get into a balance. Have I been giving my power away? Have I been too understanding, too empathic, too giving? And then we start getting depleted. Have I been feeling anger, passion, angst, frustration? How can I articulate and re-navigate my routine effectively? I will never die, but I will withdraw consciousness from this body. Really random Abraham Hicks cards today. There is never an ending to the consciousness of you. So really, there is no death. So true. But there will come an end of time that your consciousness will follow through this particular physical body that you identify as you. But when you focus negatively and diminishes your connection to source energy, your physical experience is shortened, for your physical apparatus cannot sustain long-term without source energy replenishment. And this has been collective energy I've been channeling. And I did say that what this has been doing to our auric field is, how do we find a healthy boundary between the 5D and the 3D? Which is accountability. Okay, we've had foundational issues. Foundational issues in buildings. We've seen it on the news. Capricorn, foundation. foundational issues in society and finances and our families and our life due to what's happening in the collective. So oracally speaking, we need to be both 3D and 5D. A, we can feel we're in a storm. B, how can we directly relate to that storm and look at the long-term goal of little small changes we can make to actually keep us grounded, to take that direct accountability, but also find our spiritual compass in the storm. So this is really what I'm seeing is a large energy coming through is, okay, where are we taking that creativity? How are we looking after our well-being, our family, our tribe, ourselves, and feeding the soul? I will visualize well-being simply for the joy of visualizing it. And it's even in the most of frustrating circumstances, can we find that balance? I mean, I mentioned back to an experience I had living with my mother. There was 12 of us at one point. We were all in one house, and I was like, this isn't normal. There's nothing normal on this planet, okay? Whatever circumstance we find ourselves in, we can find the best of it in the eye of the storm. And it does make you very resilient, but it also helps you come back to that centered space. Take 15 minutes daily thinking of pleasant scenarios regarding your body with your soul, intent of enjoyment and body of appreciation and strength and stamina and flexibility and beauty. You guys are the beauty sign, but you also are more than that of what you are on the external. You are the inside too. You're the heart energy. When you visualize for what joy of visualizing rather than with the intentions of correcting some defectancy, your thoughts are more pure and therefore more powerful. When you visualize outcomes, something that is wrong, your thoughts are diluted with the lackluster. So, getting into momentum and motivation, I feel a lot of you, again, your past position, you've got the sun, which again, currently in the house of Leo, moving forward, we can be looking inside and trying to, looking outside and trying to put the pretty face on. And I don't mean from a beauty point of view, Taurus. You guys are naturally beautiful. It's more focusing on dealing with things, putting a lot of energy into things. We're going to have vitality, health, if we can move into that. But we also need to have spiritual peace. So trying to find that, go. Yes, there's some hard things that we need to tackle. Sometimes we can feel it's not fair what's happening. But again, it's almost like this halt. It's to help us see a viewpoint, to get back more into balance, but they're wake-up calls of revelations of experiences we're having. Now, I do feel overall, yes, you could be feeling like this for about a week, but I do feel everything is coming in perfect harmony and order, and it's trying to show you what's amiss. Now, I'll quickly channel whatever else I feel coming through. Something to do with income will be coming in, but I feel it's really, again, looking over it and redirecting it, and there is a plan of action. Some of you, again, could have money coming back to you out of nowhere, but it's also when we're emotional. Could it be our eating? Could it be our socialization? Could it be the things that we're doing that we can shake up and change about? I do feel there could be some real direct communication and conversations, and we initially could be quite stroppy, frustrated in the first week to 2 weeks. I also feel there could be sudden change and movement. Some of you may be looking at upskilling. Some of you may be looking at, this can be inheritances, paperwork, but it feels something to do with family. I do see a document being signed. It's almost like you feel you shouldn't, but you have to for some reason. And that's what's being shown to me. It's almost like you feel you have to sign this, and it could be obligationary. It might be acknowledging something. It just feels there's a reason why this has to be signed, accepting where you're going and accepting where you're moving forward. But I feel it's going to help you have the courage to move forward. And it'll make sense when it occurs. But right now, that's how they're channeling the message to me. I do feel there could be a question mark over. For those of you who are working, it might directly be an environment. And whether you resonate with the group, the people you're around. And when we say work, it can be the people we're interacting with, or it can be employment. And I do feel there's a bit of a change and a transformation happening in that area. And again, you know, feel free to ask questions after. Some of you, I do feel, are going to have this momentum forward, but you do need to be very careful moving between now and October. I also feel some of you could really be assessing your connection and your love life and feeling maybe something's hidden. But I do feel something's going to be shown to you. It's almost like there's reveals coming through. It's talking about the past of things coming up. There could be emotions about, you know, how you saw yourself inside of that situation. And this can be with soulmates. This can be with various people. It doesn't have to be one person. It's soul healing at the moment. I do feel the truth of what's been hidden to you is inside your heart, and it's almost like something's going to come up and something's going to come out. It does feel a revelation, though. Oh, you guys at the moment, you may come to a point that your senses are really picking up, and it almost feels like you're super sensitive to smells all of a sudden. I'm telling you, somebody in the house is probably pregnant. Because I was like, all of a sudden I smelled garlic, and it was like, garlic butter? What the heck is that? Nobody's home. No food's been cooked. I had a protein shake. There is a question mark over a child. I kind of feel what's coming through is there's going to be a circumstance that takes you on a different path, and it's a sudden different path. It could be that you think your week's going one way and bang, it goes another. I do feel during this time some information is going to come to you, but can be quite unexpected, and you may feel like, oh, okay, well, we had all of this over here. We needed to deal with it now. It's all over here, and we're going to deal with that. I do feel this chops and changes, but it will make sense by the end of the month. So it's almost like you'll make it through. It'll end up being better than you thought, and it's gonna be in your benefit. This is what I'm showing. It's going to be beneficial. I do feel some of you could have a very passionate reconnection. There will become more balance in the connection. There could be a few arguments, but I do feel overall there's going to be justice received, okay? Justice and balance within this connection. A lot of passionate conversations coming up, a lot of chemistry between both individuals. But this can be movement and a brand new beginning moving forward. Acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times we must accept things as they are, and that's where you end up getting the momentum and movement. There is no point trying to change that of which is beyond your control. So the things that do come on, you know, I'm seeing it's actually in your benefit. It's almost like don't stress if suddenly you got to take a left and you get quite anxious. Please trust it, because it's almost saying it's going to end up better than you thought. Yes, we could be feeling quite invigorated, energetic moving forward, and our direct communication can be quite passionate. Be careful not to be sharp. We could be in the first 2 weeks. And also take time to spend time with self to really be integrating and seeing some of the intuition downloads that are coming, because I do feel they're quite important to each person individually this month. Any super chat questions in the house? Overall, I think you guys have some interesting changes, but you have some interesting new beginnings coming your way. And I feel it's more, initially some of you could feel like you're really getting nowhere fast, but it's almost like these changes that are coming are for the big term over the next 3 months. And I don't know why they're mentioning between August and September. I see something very major happening for you. It's more September. I don't know why they're basing it in September. It could be relating to a particular person that is born around that time. It might be an anniversary, but they're putting a key point time in September. Now, that could be the changes that are happening now are for that point. Any questions? Strange. You're going to hear something through the grapevine, though. And be careful who you're telling things to at the moment, because it's almost like you could be a little bit like, I heard X, Y, and Z. Be straight with me. It does feel direct communication. I don't think you're going to take no ifs and buts about it this month. You won't have it. Any questions in the house? Did I miss one? The odd communication. The odd communication, I would say, and this has been coming up with a lot of people, is that at the moment, communication Let me explain it. Between now and moving into July, we have Mercury in Cancer. For masculine energies, because we have Jupiter retrograde in Pisces, Neptune on the 28th retrogrades, logic is going to start coming back, and they're doing a lot of psychoanalytical evaluation. It doesn't completely feel natural to them, but they're having an emotional reality check. It's almost like psychic attacks, feeling like they can't forget you, wanting to interconnect with people we resonate with, but maybe feeling a little bit unsure as well. So it's in and out, it's integration. Mars being in Leo is really the self-esteem. It's building in momentum. As it moves forward, you're going to get more communication, because it's also then transiting over into the house of Virgo. Now, as that does, there's going to be more direct movement. Okay? This is actions and steps. It's not just words. At the moment, it's words and emotions. They're coming through. As it moves, it's going to be 3D actions and movement. Show me the money. I'll pull a card for you. It's nervousness. I do feel they're quite exhausted. I do feel they're feeling your energy, and it's making them feel uncertain. I do feel, because a lot of feminines are actually detaching, and we all individually, this is one thing we have to understand. The stagnancy is so very temporary right now. So all the emotions that have been coming up, they're there to clear, so we're open. So we move into the detachment phase, we move into the acceptance, and, you know, whatever we are needing to tackle on a 3D level, to do such. And then you'll find that this momentum happens extremely quickly. So when you're purging, it's usually there to help you get ready. Getting into light body, we're dumping the junk. Yeah, because they're facing their fears. The funny thing is, it's almost like they're actually looking at why collectively they were scared of connections. And it doesn't make sense, because they can't stop thinking about you. So they're like, if I had all of that rubbish over there, then why? I could have had this person here, and gee, this person has accepted me, the good, the bad, and the ugly, so therefore this resonates more with me, and this person has no expectation. So they're looking at the shadow of that. I feel as it moves forward, they kind of know that they're waiting in vain. Like, they know what they want. They know what they want. They're not feeling logical right now, if that makes sense, Google. They're like, what's happening to me? What's happening? I will love yous and leave yous. Yeah, but definitely with Mars transiting into Virgo, it'll be the practical. Okay, I need to be realistic with myself. Masculine is going to be very realistic. Love you too, lady. I'll see you all soon. I will be back again tomorrow for the water signs. If you want to join us, you can come through, and we'll be doing the water signs. They'll be done over the next 3 days. I might even get more done. We'll see how we go. And then you'll get your twin flame updates. You'll get your psychic mid-month with the extension. All the other videos will have extensions, but this one's your touch base for the beginning of the month for July. Love and light. Bye.